What's going on, people? This is Joe Dash here. This is another episode of Beauty of Independence. And we had a dope conversation last episode, and we feel like the conversation's unfinished. There's so much more for us to talk about. So, still got Sheridan Demise in the building, JP's in the building, but we've added another brother to the set. And I'm going to let him introduce himself because he's out here doing bits. He just come off tour. I think his bus is outside or something like that. Madness. But we appreciate the love still, man.
Thank you.
Let the people know who you are.
I'm Mr. Darcy, or Darcy Thomas. That's the commercial name for the little BBC Channel 4 people there. Obviously, for Mandem, it's Mr. Darcy, innit? I do a bit of everything, you know, innit? Like,
break down what you do, man. I know you do a lot of things. So we're just going to start with you real quick. I know you do a lot of things, innit? So
I tried to figure out from a young age how to get paid just for being me. That's basically it. So, like, if I can work in music, I'll work in music. If I could do TV, I'll do a bit of TV. If I could help young people, that's how I started. I set up my own youth enterprise. So,
how old were you at the time?
19.
So at 19, you set up your own youth enterprise.
19, I got 10K from Prince's Trust. I got 20K from Comic Relief. I had an organisation running in Bermondsey for like 2 years, basically trying to get young people into TV. But for me, it was a blag. Like, I've never worked in TV, but I got 30 bags to get man into TV.
So how did you blag it? What did you say, bro?
This is so
statute of limitations.
Like,
When in the UK, I don't know if that's the same thing, but like how?
Statutory.
Yeah, I was like,
basically, it's exactly this. So the government has a statutory obligation to put money in place for young people.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mum works for Lewisham Council. She commissions drug and sex education, but she never schooled me about the thing.
Okay.
So I knew you're getting commissioned by the government for you to go out and do these workshops.
Yeah.
Surely I can do that with arts and culture. I can do the same thing. So I went to the British Library. I sat in there for 7 months and I just studied, like, basically common law and statutory law, community funding, basic economics, how different businesses work, so like social enterprise, not-for-profit organizations.
So you had to go study this thing first. You
myself
didn't just jump it out there. You took upon yourself to go to the library and just...
Yeah,
so this wasn't even at college and nothing.
Brother, do you know what? Let me rewind. I went Brit school first, yeah? I was at Brit school, but before that I was doing like weekend like performing arts.
Yeah.
And then I got into Brits, and Brits kind of showed me the business side of the industry a little bit.
I heard they do some really good stuff over there with people. Like,
yeah,
so that's why they got a good success rate.
Basically, there was a don there called Arthur Bolton, and he was like, "You man need to understand the business because the business is gonna save you, like." Because there's money there.
What's his name?
Arthur Bolton. He's left
Arthur
now.
Bolton
He's
endorses the Beauty of Independence podcast by saying that. So yeah.
Bruv, he's on boards for like PPO and PRS and everything. He's a big boy in the game. Like, he's done stuff with Elton John, but he's a G. So he used to show, man, like, you see all this stuff that you see in the videos, that's like all these big Kia and Rolex and champagne, and you know, none of that. Yeah, none of that is actually bought by them. Yeah, it comes out of taxes. That's a tax write-off. So boom, you shoot the video, you buy the Kia, you buy the clothes.
Yeah.
End of the year, that's yours because it's used for a project.
Yeah.
It's a tax write-off. Yeah, it's tax deductible.
Yeah, it is.
So I was like, what? So I might have been given money, and it's yours basically, and it's basically just a
So
write-off. It's a uniform.
But that's the difference of knowing the business, though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know how to make checks and balances and make things work for you. So, like, imagine if a lot of up-and-coming directors understood that, you know what I'm saying, on the artists as well, that understood that could have flipped that into something that's quite decent. Because normally you just give it back and you just go about your business when I was starting out. So that's quite dope.
Yeah, it's all a hustle. Basically, he was like, there's ways of doing it. Like, there's man on road in hoodies doing the same hustle that the man in the suits are doing. So you've just got to
It's a
learn to
parallel,
confuse it.
bro. I always say it's a parallel world, bro. Like, when man was studying music business, I was like, bro, this is how governments work. It's the same thing. It's all business.
Constitutions.
It's all business. Like,
Constitutions that build entities that allow them to have certain space or authority to do X, Y, and Z. That's it. And it's up to us if we oblige to that.
So, what I want to talk about is about the concept of building your own house in terms of ownership, because I think independence is about ownership. It's about owning your own destiny, owning what's going on, and having some real estate in your craft and your talent. A lot of the times people say, you know, bro, the majors can do this, can do that better for you, such as their bank, they can do. But I don't know how many of them think of how much they're giving up, that if you're putting in the same work, we need to, and I look at, we just have to just change the concept of value. And I think a lot of artists, when I speak to creatives, value is a problem. They don't know how much they're worth it until somebody gives them a contract. What's been your experience on that, Daz? Are you ever in a situation where they cut you a fact check and you decided, oh, actually,
I'll be real with you. I've been offered to do documentaries and do other things, and I've just turned it down because it doesn't help us.
Right.
I'm not contributing to the thing I'm fighting against.
Right.
Like, one of my things is making sure the right people get seen by the right faces. That's it. That's my main thing, because there's loads of talent out there. Everyone's doing something, yeah? But how do you become a strength? How do you become something that's of value to a company?
Right.
it's up to you to find out where you want to be based. Alright, so this is the advice I'd give a young person.
Yeah.
Find out what you want to do exactly. Yeah. Find out who has done it the way or similar to what you want to do. Yeah. Someone that's in ends, someone that you can find. Yeah. And then do a run up. Go to my man's office, sit down with him, tell him what you want to do. And trust me, he will back you or she will back you, because no matter what, there's always been, for them people to get into this position, there's been someone that opened the door to them. Yeah. And it's up to us to reciprocate that and keep it going. And the house thing, yeah, it's good to build your own houses. And the majors, you don't need them now. There's so many majors, there are no majors.
So many majors. There are no majors. That's a soundbite. There's so many majors, there aren't no majors.
Bruv, and everyone has the space to become independent now. Spotify fucked up the game. They've just made it available to everyone to release your own music and distribute your own music.
Without a middleman.
So
and we used to go through a middleman.
So now you sign yourself to your own publishing company, and you do your own thing, yeah? And you learn how the business works. So if you want to be a global artist, I'm going to do music, then I'll do TV, yeah? So an independent artist, this is what I'd say. Sign yourself, both sides. Do your PRS, do your PPR, do all of that. Sign up to MTPS as well.
This is costing money, but this ain't free, bro.
This is consultation. This is normally what I do.
Aha!
It's a percentage.
No, but because most of the people, bro, they don't have the P's. I've told young, it's like, yo, you got to sign that. Yeah, bro, it costs, bro. Where's the money coming from? Well, like, what did they do? They ain't got P's.
Like, I guess it's sort of like approaching your life and your vision with a business plan. And then sort of investing in your own vision in terms of like spending the time to write a business plan, and then doing what Darcy went through. He went to organisations like the Princess Trust, like the Arts Council, and then get the funding that way.
Right.
Or if you have got the funds in terms of like you're working part time, because it's a means to an end, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like no one's gonna give you something for nothing.
So you have to do the legwork. Because one thing you said is in 7 months you were training yourself, like you were reading and exposing yourself to key information.
I basically found my mentor. Yeah, my mentor kind of showed me the deal. Every big organization has a charitable arm.
Yes,
yeah?
definitely.
McDonald's, everybody has to do something for charity. Why? Because we make so much money, we can actually give ourselves back the money at the end of the year instead of paying it to the tax man, because we're making a charitable donation to something. So we give ourselves a percentage of that revenue to go into our charity arm, which then funds that. So most of us, when we start, we're not aware that there's money or finances accessible for you as a young person. Big organizations get this money to do outreach programs to find people like us.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it like some sort of social responsibility?
Basically, you have to.
And that's
give
law,
back.
you're saying?
Yes,
though?
it's. I don't want to say it's a law, but most of these companies have written it in their constitution where they have to give back. Yeah.
Right.
It's within their articles of referendum.
Articles of referendum, yeah.
They've done something where you have to, because you're making so much bread. Yeah. So with that said, that means they need us. We don't need them. It's a part of your objectives to find me. So what if I am the person that's finding more people like me? Surely you have to give me the money, not this white man that's 40 years old and telling me he can find people like me. No?
True.
So when you go in there, make sure you study the company, because each funder has an objective list. Lick 9 of them objectives, you're getting the money because you are the demographic they're trying to reach.
So you got to do some background research, at least, on who you're approaching, because we spoke about this on us when we were talking about sponsorships, about addressing, like, if you're going to go to a company like Adidas, you got to know what they're on this quarter, what they're trying to achieve. You got to know what they're looking for. If they're talking to your demographic, you can't be 30-something years old and say, yeah, I want to get funding here, but that funding is looking for people for 18 to 25.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to look at, if you're 18 to 25 as well, you got to look at what their requirements are. Sometimes people just get blinded by the money. I just want the money. And that's why people stay in the same poor position as well, because they focus on the money. They don't understand they can build their way out of the actual situation if you follow procedure. Like if you really engage and build with these corporate companies, and they see you and say, we need your access because you know the people. You can build with these people. Wait, it's a small pot of money. It might be $5,000. That grows though, because they have to trust that you're going to deliver their objectives, because they need to show their board of directors or whatever. Like, look, it's being done. And it's good for press. They're using the internal PR, because Universal did it all the time.
Exactly.
Like, internal PR was just like, yeah, look at the good stuff we're doing. Like, when Grenfell happened, we had to donate by the truckload. Do you understand what I'm saying? Toothpaste, just like different kind of stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? They do that. They always do that. So I'm like, they need to really, like...
But why?
But obviously, we understand, like, what you were explaining before. At the end of the day, it's a system, isn't it? And when we say it's a system, most people need to understand what that system is. It's like when people say culture, I always say, what is that? Because we use that word so fluently, I don't think everyone's on the same page. So when we say we're doing it for the culture, what are you doing for the culture? And is anyone asking, what does the culture need?
And what is the culture?
Like that's the fundamental thing. What is it? Okay, man's doing it
so
for the culture.
For what is it? What you representing? What's the angle here?
Alright, cool. Before you even break that down, okay, let's go around the table.
What is culture?
What is culture, bro?
For me,
Or the culture. Not even say is culture, because we always say the culture. What is the culture?
I'll give you an analogy. Culture for me is like a tree. Yeah, it starts off with a root and it grows. Yeah,
Right.
it's
That's
up to
exactly
each
it.
individual to do what they want with their own branches. Yeah,
Right.
but that all contributes to our culture. Yeah, certain weak branches break off, end up on the floor. They're not part of the tree. You're not part of the culture. But you're
Okay.
still screaming, "Yo, it's culture," because you're made of wood, but you're not actually the tree. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Okay. But you, if
So
it's a
you
tree,
look
it's an
like
apple
me,
tree,
but
you
you're not from the root.
Okay.
G. You look like me, but you're not from the root, G. Like, do you get what I'm saying to you?
Okay,
And that's
okay.
how you like.
But we have to
It's
describe
ethics,
like
it's morals, it's values,
Yeah.
like
ethics, morals, values.
it's everything.
So what is
like,
our ethics, morals, values? What is that? That's what we're trying to knock down. We're using too many, obscure words to a lot of young people. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, we get the analogy. That makes so much sense, and I love it, and I'm gonna use it.
For me,
it's
we're
got very
British.
cringe in that. But what is that? Like,
We're our British
what's the
culture.
morals, what's the ethics? What is that?
our British culture, like for example,
So it's not color. First of all, you said British.
every place, every location, or every set of people are gonna have their own culture. Yeah,
Right.
like so. My theory is this: community creates culture. I'm writing a book about this. So read this. Yeah,
Yeah, sick.
community creates culture. Yeah. Politics comes in to affect the culture and change the community.
Yeah.
But then the technology comes in and revolutionizes everything. That's the steps, yeah?
Right.
And we have come from this tech culture. That's where we've come from. Like we started at MSN FacePic before there was Facebook.
yeah, FacePic.
Them thing there. That's how we started infrared phone, yeah? And we created our own community which built our culture. Do you get what I'm saying to you?
Yep.
So the community creates the culture. We are the community. So when you're saying what is culture, what do you think it is? It's what your heart tells you is right for your people. That's what I think it is.
That's
yeah?
just it. Because I'm when I think
like
of the
that, I
world
like that, I like
culture,
that.
if I'm thinking of the world culture,
Man says some gems still.
if I'm thinking of the the word culture,
Yeah.
it's like, from me, for example, I come from a Nigerian background.
Yes.
I was born in Nigeria and
Yes.
stuff. So the word culture has got so many layers. It can never try to sort of narrow it down to one thing. There's no way. So the way you described it was perfect. It's like a tree, and then it grows into different branches. And
Well,
the
if we have,
different
we have
ways-
to narrow it down for this particular concept of conversation. We have to narrow it down because
You-
then everyone says the culture, no one knows what tree they belong to.
Do you know what?
If we just leave it
it's,
open.
it's like saying what's happiness in a way. It's almost like saying what is
But
happiness.
you have Nigerian culture. That's not what's happiness. We
No,
know what
wait.
Nigerian culture-
What I'm saying is
Yeah.
you can't. It's different for different people.
Right.
What happiness is. Same for culture. You can't. Some people they've grown up in London all their life. A certain part of London all their life. Some people they grew up in a different country.
But
then
ends as a
came to-
culture, no matter where you come
Yeah,
from.
but fam, if
No,
I'm
but-
from Hertfordshire
No.
and you ask me what culture
It's
is
gonna
as a
be
man in
completely
Hertfordshire,
different.
it's completely different to London, man.
So
you see what I'm saying? It's the
there's-
Sure,
community.
it's all
an
different.
estate in Hertfordshire and an estate in London have a culture, bro.
It's
Don't
the
believe that?
community, though.
Yeah,
It's the
but it's still
communities.
gonna
They
be
create
within
their
that
own
culture.
Yeah, the communities create their
So-
own culture.
So it's never this. It's never gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, I agree with like you guys. You know what I mean? It's like it depends like where you come from.
Okay.
I guess your heritage and stuff because that has a massive impact on your culture growing up.
Okay. True.
And also where you're born, that's gonna have a massive effect on the culture as well because of everything you're receiving through media is gonna affect you personally and have your own perception of what culture is.
Okay.
And then
that's sick.
like the third one is definitely like the community of where you grow up because
Okay.
you could be in a certain part of London but you've got different kinds of people who live side by side by you so you're going to be affected by that culture
Okay.
and what they're in as well.
Okay.
So it's like it's definitely like nature versus
So
nurture.
there's different
but
cultures then.
yeah, and
Okay.
then the older you get, the more you're gonna sort of like gravitate to your actual culture, your heritage,
Yeah.
And
to
understanding
find your
and
own
all that.
identity.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So there's different layers there. It's like you're saying, like for the culture, I think culture now is like a word. It's a buzzword now. It's sort of like diversity. It's sort of like black. It's sort
Yeah.
of what's hip. It's sort of what's like
It's just
innovative.
such an
It's
Do you
ambiguous-
know what I mean?
become gentrified, fam.
Yeah,
so
it's
culture is
so-
from the community, right?
Yeah.
The community of people
Yeah.
create what you would
Yeah,
call a
I was
culture.
just gonna say like one point. So now it's like people say, "Oh, a culture," but now it's not really personal. Now it's just used objectively.
Yes, because
Okay.
and
because
broadly.
outsiders have come in
Outsiders
and they're trying to fly
control
flag
people's cultures
for yeah, exactly.
But-
and to sort of like use the word culture and use certain culture to I guess, make themselves more economically better.
Okay, I think
As you know, from a more capitalist viewpoint of culture.
yeah, I think that's what Darcy was even touching on.
Yeah.
I think that there puts it into context to where we need to go, because now we understand what culture consists of. It's a community, and which is stemmed by, which is created by the people that are there. Because the culture is about a practice that we all share. If we're talking about the music industry, right, and if we're talking about urban culture, that needs to be defined now. We understand that so what we all have grasped from this is depends on where you come from. It's not just one thing. Culture is not one thing. But that's what I said earlier. We all share now what we call urban culture. Meaning no matter what ends you from, what community you're from, we've now adopted, is it?
Yeah.
You adopt this urban culture.
Yeah.
What is that?
Now listen to what we just said earlier. It's a tree. So best example I could give you is when I was associate producer at MTV Raps. Yeah, we went across the country to find the right talent. Urban culture is spread across the nation.
Yeah.
And each community
Yes.
has their own version of it. So we found H, we found Remtrex, we found loads of different IMDb. Like every Manchester's got their own urban music
their own
culture.
culture.
Birmingham's got their own culture. This tour that I just come back from, every city's got their own little something, but it takes bits from the tree, and this is their branch. So it's like
That's sick. I like that.
Do you get what I'm saying?
That's one of the illest ways to put it. So now I'm trying to identify when people say they're doing it for the culture. We're not artists now. Let me put it in this way. We're not artists that's doing drill. Drill's become the subject of conversation this whole year.
Yeah.
Right? Drill's been here longer than this year, but it's been a hot topic of conversation this year.
Yeah.
So when are drill rappers considered for the culture?
Yeah.
So you're saying basically like a genre or a split genre of music is now its own culture.
I'm
now,
just trying to find out.
are you
saying it's
similar
its own
to
culture?
similar to like grime, similar to like hip hop,
To drum and bass, to
drum and bass,
soca,
to
to
garage.
reggae, to
You know,
black music. Every piece of black music becomes
culture.
demonic or becomes alienated and
So let's look at
becomes...
it like this way. Okay,
So what
ostracized.
is drill culture then? I'm
right,
curious.
so now let's look at drill. So when you say you're doing it for the culture, for you to say you're doing something good for the culture, you need to know what the culture needs, nah?
Okay, so boom.
For you to say something's
Yeah.
good for Darcy, you have to know what Darcy
But how
wants
do you
and
do that
needs.
when the culture of drill is still being defined? Remember, drill is grime evolved, yeah? Chicago drill is different to our UK drill. If you
Yeah.
put one of them
Yeah,
rappers
yeah,
on
yeah,
a beat
yeah,
with one of our
yeah,
rappers, we
yeah.
duppy them. We're Skippy. We do the most. Yeah, we do the most. But it's the training. We're sound system Y that have come through rave. We've done hip hop ragga, we've done drum and bass, we've gone through garage, we've done everything, house, grime, and now we're on to drill. We are trained, bruv. We're schooled. This is why Wiley's a G, because he educated us about sound system properly through grime. Do you get what I'm saying? The clashes. Every week there was a new clash. Man's lyrics were getting tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Your flows were being tested constantly.
Sharpen your sword, sharpen.
Because it's different BPMs, isn't it?
Bruv, and if you put one of
adapt
them-
to-
True though,
adapt to your flow to it.
UK grammars know how to
Yeah.
skip over. Like it's ridiculous.
You see
bro.
this-
It's art. It's a different type of art.
But it's not even just grime. It's from sound system, fam. Man, I've been doing it from time.
True though.
From time.
True though.
Yeah,
True though.
I guess it's before rap and hip hop then.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Especially in this country, maybe if you look at the MC and then you compare them,
Right.
you could sort of go like, you know, that whole MC culture came from
Bruv,
before.
Smiley culture. Let's start from, okay, let's go from Windrush, yeah? The man them that come over on Windrush. You had Linton Kwesi Johnson, Darkus, How, them man there that set up the first Black Panther movement, but they were pushing the soca reggae sound, yeah? Them man there were ostracized and alienated too. They were called terrorists and all them things as well.
Right.
But they were speaking for our culture. We have just come from somewhere. We are trying to create our voice in this land which doesn't belong to us.
Cool.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Cool.
So they're trying to define themselves within this country, within this establishment, which is, I feel these young people are going through right now. They've been ostracized by the media. They've been alienated. There's no jobs. It's the same thing the grand people went through. So they've created their own sound, their own voice. They talk with their own lingo. So certain man don't get what's going on because it's not for you.
Right.
We've made our own room.
That's just
Boom.
it. Okay.
Drill's our room.
Sometimes when I feel
Drills is a new room that's been
It's a
built.
new room
Like now people are
in the
trying to
yard.
understand.
Yeah, it's a new room in the
sometimes when
yard.
artists, like any sort of art, whether it's music or film or whatever, and they say they're doing it for the culture, hopefully, I'm not trying to speak for them or sort of justify,
No, speak
but
on the film
hopefully,
tip. Film tip. Let's speak on that.
no, but I mean, when they're saying that, I want to see it, or I'm hearing it as they're saying we're doing this for whoever gets it.
So it's not
Whoever
for everybody.
Yeah. So, because what I'm getting from everything that we've described about culture is it's got its own. It
Community.
starts from somewhere.
The community.
So whoever's
root.
gonna completely. Whoever you're gonna do something, it's not from nowhere.
Right.
You're not the only person that's ever been through this thing. So whoever gets it is someone that's
It's part
come
of the
through that
community. It's part
culture.
of the community.
Yeah. So
'Cause, yeah.
when they say I'm doing it for the culture, is
I'm doing it for
basically
my
saying
community
it.
of people.
I'm
that
doing
come
it for
from
people that
and
will get
understand
it.
that. True.
That's basically it.
So-
But sometimes, as you said, it's like a buzzword. Some people will use it for when.
Because for us to go to where we're going, we need to define what culture is. Like that's the problem. Before you, in order for you to understand the music industry business or film business, you need to understand the culture, because it started off as a community that had a culture, that had an industry that came from people who knew how to monetize that culture. So I guess what would be interesting to even speak about is for people that are in film or TV that's done any of that stuff. Now we've understood what culture is and what the musicians are going through. For actors, what is Black British culture for actors from a business standpoint, which is key, and how are we building enough of our own houses yet, or are we still in the process, or do we still need Netflix and terrestrial TV to come in and save me?
Bro. No, you are doing this already,
Yeah.
so go on.
Okay. I feel like there's a couple points there. We're definitely in the process of building, I guess, a British film culture, in terms of like for the urban scene, especially for, I guess, like the urban film scene, because there's not a lot getting made, you know. So there's not a lot getting made because, like, I feel like it's still like a try and tested genre, especially over here. Like in America, we're sort of in comparison to say the 90s in America still. If you see
far
like
behind, yeah.
if you sort of align like the hip hop culture and the film culture, that sort of aligned
Okay.
in the early 90s. I think it was New Line Entertainment. They started commissioning a lot of black films.
Paid in full and all
Paid
these
in
ones,
Full.
yeah, which is
What-
where we're at now.
Yeah, exactly. New Jack City, and then you had like Boys in the Hood and all those films in the 90s that sort of propelled the culture. It helped like urban culture. It helped urban fashion culture. It all sort of aligned and sort of pushed their whole scene forward on a global scale, because that's one of the things. Like music definitely travels internationally, and so does film, and has a massive effect on communities and the way people perceive themselves. You know?
So it's important basically.
So now, like here, we haven't really defined that culture because we haven't been allowed to express ourselves. Because you got to see it as like it's a very political thing. Like a lot of like young people, like Black, Asian, Chinese, they're very sort of aligned with one or two certain stereotypes as how you've been perceived. You know,
Right.
You know, mainly from like a black perspective, they're usually like drug dealers from like working class backgrounds, kind of, I call it poverty porn. And then you've got like a lot of Asian men who sort of align with being a cab driver or working in a
Corner
store,
shop,
or becoming a terrorist. Like that's a big thing now.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
It's
I want
true
to
though,
be
All
like an Asian
espionage
Muslim
drama. It's got to do
like
yeah.
doctor, but no.
And what's the other one that's going on BBC Three? Informer. Asian
Well,
guy.
yeah,
and
which I quite liked.
Yeah.
I quite liked because they sort of tried to break the stereotype, but still man's a
snitch still.
snitch and a terrorist. Do you know
And
what I
a
mean?
terror- yeah, so it's like-
So you got to see, like, bringing it back to the culture. I feel like we're in a position of trying to break some of those stereotypes,
Yes.
you know, and trying to sort of evolve the culture and not be perceived in a certain way.
That's just
and
it.
and that's just like male characters. I'm sort of male black characters, male Asian characters.
Not even to start with
And
the
we haven't
female,
like the
black
females,
female.
the
The
black
females.
the black female characters. I'm like, there's name 5 big black actresses from
Yeah,
the UK.
that's
And
just
It's
it.
a struggle. It's
I can't remember
Yeah.
their names though. The one that does chewing
well,
gum.
I'm
Michaela
just saying.
Cole,
One that does chewing
Michaela
gum.
Cole.
No, I
Do you
mean-
know what?
But
The
I'm
women
saying
are
it's a
teaching
struggle
us.
because there's not enough representation, especially
Oh,
for black
yeah.
females on the screens. And I feel like with black males on screen and Asian males on screen, it's very much it's stuck to a certain stereotype because that evolve was still growing, and a lot of those productions with those actors in it are basically commissioned and worked upon by white British males who might not understand the culture or the characters to sort of break those stereotypes. So that's why now we've getting an influx of like great talent behind the scenes, making films, trying to make TV as well. That's sort of evolving the culture because it's coming from a perception of we know that we come from that culture, we come from that background.
Yeah,
We know that dad, we know that mum because that was my mum and dad. That was my grandparents.
Yeah, that's
or
my
that was my
uncle,
brethren who used to live next to me.
Exactly.
So now we're in that position of like that involvement of sort of breaking those stereotypes, and that's why it's important going back to culture, having people from the culture representing the culture.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's almost that
Doing the backing and all of that.
yeah.
Instead of the weak
made by
branches.
us for us.
Yeah.
I forgot that was that food.
Food,
For us by us, something
Yeah,
like that.
exactly,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know.
so what about the executives in the film industry? Who are the executives that understand the culture?
No, but
Who are they? Because
I think you need to start at the statistics before you go into this
Okay.
convo, yeah? Because how much of the population is black?
I have no idea.
I think it's like 20-something%.
Bro, somebody Google that.
I think it's 20.
Okay, Google.
I think
Low,
it.
yeah.
What in this country?
Was it?
It's like 4%. It's 4% of the country is black, yeah?
Do you know what I'm shocked? Before you carry, do you know I'm shocked? The way BNP and Right Wing's gone,
yeah.
it's like this bear of us here.
No.
You're
But they're
thinking
not
London.
talking about us. They're talking about Asians. They're talking about Arabs.
Oh,
they're talking
okay,
about anyone
okay,
that's
yeah.
not
Not
white.
us.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
basically.
Exactly.
You man.
Okay,
That's it,
so
yeah.
specifically black people, though, is 4%.
Yeah, but black people would argue that urban culture is our culture. So we would have to be the ones that lead this argument, right? So there's only 4% of us, yeah? But it's our culture. And we've affected this big tree. Do you get what I'm saying? But we're not at the top of the tree to say,
Right.
do you get what I'm saying to you?
Right.
And that's the reason. It's the stats, basically.
Yeah.
Smoking weed in it. Fuck me up.
Yeah.
That's loud, by the
Edit
way.
that out.
Sponsor. It's the stats. That's what they're looking at. And the reason why the game's now changed is the stats, the online views. You can't argue with the numbers, G. Yeah, your TV
Everyone
show.
can see it now.
But you
It's
but
dead
you can
compared to the online
just
thing.
argue like especially black and urban cultures like affected the world. It's become popular culture now.
Of course.
So that's why there needs to be more of an equal balance on television, on
Of course.
in film
Because of the
There's-
impact.
there was
because
a-
of the impact of
impact.
it as well.
There's a stat that I read again from the Guardian that says if we start working on bringing in more diverse talent on and off screen within the entertainment industry, it would equate to £24 billion for the UK economy. Yeah,
So diversity is
that's
actually economically incentivized.
But we have
too.
to play the game. See what I'm saying?
Ah,
Stats
we
on
have-
guard. We have to know what we're
We have
talking
to- we have
about.
to play the game.
Yeah,
Okay.
so 24 billion, fam.
Since we understand out of that
Yeah.
4%, we can only
true.
imagine out of the 4% there's another less than 4% that are really in a position of power to make that change. Where are these people?
These people-
Because I know we're there.
'cause if
Who are they? And where are they? But who's okay in BBC, right?
Yeah, you
The
want to know
film
who?
side, the film division, because you guys know it.
There's allies and there's them boy in it.
Okay.
But you want me to bait people up? You know who? Like
No.
we
Okay, cool. Let people go research who these people are.
Okay.
Because if these people are there, can we say they've made any impact from their vantage point?
in their head they have.
No, forget their head. It's not about
No.
them. It's about the community.
As
the
in
cu-
result,
us as
no.
members of the
As in
community.
result,
No,
no.
but the
because
reason why I
that's
say in
why
their
we're-
head,
That's what-
because in their time when they were actually in their prime,
Right.
what they did have a little bit of resonance. Yeah, so in their head,
Right.
yes. But what you did in the bigger picture,
in actuality, yeah.
you're a little boy. You've done nothing. You've actually lynched your people. And
So
and
we don't
us.
have okay, cool. we don't have a lot of people in Channel 4 Film, BBC Three iPlayer.
There are now because of what Sheridan was talking about.
Okay, cool. So
They
they're not
know
there.
they need to employ us. Yeah, they
Yeah.
know they need us to find the mum and dad because that was my mum and dad. So boom,
Yeah.
we're at the stage now where
Right.
there's going to be a lot of Agent Smiths going to be turning up. And there's going to be people that are holding it down, yeah. So it's the same thing, our allies and them boy. That's what's happening now, innit? So the people them at screening for the culture. Look at them like you might be one of them boy, you know.
Okay.
And the man that actually just doing it and not saying nothing. You're a partner. You're an ally, fam. Do you get what I'm
Okay.
saying?
But
You're
then
building your yard to be a part. It's not about building the house. It's about getting the land so we can build our own country, get our own government, get our own governance, yeah, and then we can have our own empire rather than a house in a state.
I mean, I'm talking about something that's achievable in the next 2 to
Do you
3
get what I'm
years. I mean, that's
is.
the thing.
It is.
But
This is
what we're
doable in a
saying.
year.
What happens is
Yeah.
a lot of people. I've met a lot of people in the business who don't have the kind of confidence that I thought they had, and I'm like, so if we know we can be an empire nation, okay, let's come straight back down to present time and let's get this house done because the house ain't even built. So I'm saying, when we say building a house now, as far as people that own their own companies and partnering and joint venturing to do film, Black British film. What's stopping your Idris Elba's? And are they doing it? Are the big lot that are already in position? Are they reaching back? Like the guys, the Black British people that are there making a little change, have some influence. Are they coming together to show us how it's done? Because if they are not doing it and you're below them, how much influence can you really
I
have?
think one or two are, but it takes a lot more.
It's not. It's happening. The revolution is happening.
Yeah,
bro.
it's
I went
just gotta
Sheffield
build.
Dockfest showed me a madness. Yeah.
Was that Sheffield?
Sheffield Dockfest. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
We
yeah.
like there's a lot of
Dogfest?
It's gonna cut out Dockfest.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're a filmmaker or you're a TV man, you need to go to these festivals because that's where a lot of these moves are happening. Yeah. This is how you get
This is
your
how you link
funding.
up with the man.
And this is how you get your funding, your distribution. You go to the festival, you find out, okay, boom, I can get funding from them, and them not gonna distribute it for me. I don't need Channel 4 or BBC. I can make my own indie money. That's what you need to learn. The hustle, the proper hustle.
So why do you, I feel like people know some of this stuff though. Meaning like, you know, you've been,
But why aren't you doing it? Or
this is the question.
Because
This
it costs
is really
money,
where
bro.
it's at.
For you to go to Sheffield for 2 days and stay in a hotel and then pay for screening and then pay for talk and Q&A, it's all bread. We're not from Oxford and Cambridge, fam. A man's gonna have to trap.
Can you save up money for these things?
You can,
Yeah,
but
how
a man's gonna
many
have
of
to
them are you
trap
gonna
to
go
do
to?
that. So
It's
it's
not
the same
just the
thing.
one.
So it's like,
the
There's
cycle.
so many.
yeah.
No, okay, what if you start with the one? And from the one you might meet the one. I'll
And-
take you to the next one.
Every industry has their own thing. Like when I used to do stand up, yeah, the only way you used to get spotted back in the day was Edinburgh Comedy Fest. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many black man or brown man or gal can go up and fund themselves for a month to perform on the
just
off
it.
chance of being spotted?
You know why I don't like that statement? I'll tell you why. Because I'm seeing way too many people in Nike and Gucci to not afford this.
Yeah, but those man are not the brothers that are actually struggling.
Yeah, they're
fam.
not.
I
They're
know.
not,
Them
they're not
man-
trying to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's about 90% of young people I see have designer on that cost more than 50 quid.
Which their parents have bought for them.
Cool. So instead of mom, I want that Nike. Why can't you say, listen, mom, I need some money because I want to do this film thing. I got a camera.
But
It's
they're
not
not-
really them trying to do that. It's not them.
It's
They're
20
called to.
plus. I say 20
Oh,
plus.
20 plus.
I say,
Alright, cool.
but you know what? Young people, I say like these 15, 16-year-olds, they're more ambitious than we ever were.
So
Yeah.
cool. So
Yeah.
now, if we say practically, if you're an aspiring actor or filmmaker, build a tribe of people that think what you think and have the same amount to lose you do. Because they're going to take it as seriously as you do.
Yeah.
Because there's a guy that wants to do camera and photography. There's a guy that wants to be the director. There's man in writing scripts. All of you lot need each other, bro.
Fam, man them on the wall. One example, I'd give you that. They found their tribe, they've done their thing. All of them individually done their thing. Nathan Hector's another one. Bad boy. He has found his tribe within music and film. And he's doing events, he's doing everything, bruv, because he's found his tribe. He can be him. Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean? And he's thriving.
100%.
Like, these are the new generation of actors that... These are the dudes as well I'm dissing, because, like, there's women that are killing it. Michaela Cole is fucking...
Yeah.
killing it.
And she's building the tribe, fam. Look, all the talent she's working with. It's the same dons that you've seen on BBC Three, in Black Mirror, because she knows these men have not been given the chance to bust, but I'm
Yeah.
going to give them the chance to bust
That's
because
cold.
that's my flag. I've got to fly
She's
that.
got that
And she's
new
done it.
drama with
So
Bare
Marines
commissions.
and
Bare
Kennedy.
commissions.
If that's the case, yeah, you said that. Let's take that concept of building a tribe to a practical level from someone that's in like you 15 years or before you had your foot into this business, yeah. So now they have social media. Back then, social media wasn't that.
Yeah, it
Do
was
you
that.
understand?
It was
So-
that. We had MSN, fam. I had groups
Bruv.
of brethrens from different ends, and I'd go and butt them from different ends because I
Right.
had different tribes.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah. So-
and I was in crews MCing with different
Different
people,
people.
making films with different people because different people do different things.
So use social media.
Yeah,
So social
true
media
that.
instead of
It's your
building
network, bro.
followers-
Yeah.
Your network is your net worth.
So if instead of finding followers and likes and comments, bro, building your tribe on your social media.
Your
It's better
network-
to have 500 people that are your tribe than to have 1 million who just pre.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So use your social media for your tribe. Not amount of followers you have. It's not about 20,000 followers, 15K followers.
If it's
but all
not
of them-
really converting
If it's not
to anything.
converting. So it's about conversion. So I'm looking at that like someone sitting at home, think to himself, I got 10K people on my followers or 5K because the youngest gets like they have so many followers and it's normal for them.
On average, what do them
Like-
people get? Think about their likes.
So-
Think about their likes they get. So 10K.
Yeah, so 10K, most like a couple hundred at best. That's what I see.
Bruv, you
Very
get-
rarely I see 1,000
on
unless
average-
it's a video.
On average, a person gets 10%. This is how you know if someone's lying as well. I'm gonna bait it. I'm gonna bait everyone up.
Good,
now.
good. Let's
A
pop
person
them up.
gets, on average, 10% likes on whatever they post. Yeah. So whatever they've got followers, it should be an average of 10%. If it's not an average of 10%, if it's below that, it's fake. I'm telling you now, it's fake. And all of these men are doing fakeness. All of the gal are doing fakeness. And I'm preying it because I told you stats. The stats speak for themselves,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
and if I'm
100%.
looking at it and you've got some blank faced bread or some egg on the thing, like you know what's going on. You've been baited, and the purge is happening now, innit? They're gonna remove everyone. All these fake accounts are getting baited. So don't watch numbers, bro. If you've got 20 people that are liking your thing, and you've only got 20 followers, that is better than the 10K.
Yes.
Of-
It's
of
quality
2
over
followers or
quantity.
something.
Some
It's
full,
not.
some jokes.
two
So
lines.
basically, bro, if that's the case, then even your peers, the people you hang around with, bro, they're gonna have to be from your tribe. like, there's no point holding on to people who are not part of the tribe, no? Because I used to do this thing where it's like, and being part of the tribe means you can try and, as long as you got aspiration and you're driven and you're working out your craft and working towards your goal, you're part of a tribe. Because you don't have to be part. I don't have to do.
110%.
I don't have to do film. I can want to be in accounting. But the way I'm hustling to get in,
Yeah.
you can be
The
part of my
principle
tribe. because
of what you're doing
the
is the
values,
same.
You said morals and values earlier. So I'm trying to identify these things because we're making assumptions that a lot of people know this stuff. So they say morals, it's a word once again. If you're saying you're going to be in the film culture, you want to be an actor, then 99% of your crew, I think, if you're up and coming, should be something associated with the thing you're trying to be in.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not part of the culture.
You're not part of your
Your
culture.
tribe
Yeah.
is your branch, fam.
Yeah.
And all of you got your little sticks to go off and build, which will create leaves.
And trying to bend yourself to go
Exactly.
to another tribe could snap your tree and then you're no longer part of the
In
dance.
terms of the practical side of that, how obviously you can't sort of say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to this place and this is exactly what I'm gonna find," but you have to keep putting yourself in the places of chance, opportunity.
Yes,
So
of
whether
course.
it's workshops, seminars,
Of course.
all of those things, and then it might just be one person out of hundreds that it's like, "Oh yeah, I fought with this guy or this girl. We did this duologue together. That scene was banging."
Yeah.
You have their number. When you move on to another drama school, or you just know someone that's going to do a short film. Oh yeah, this girl that I worked with before.
dope at that, yeah.
And little stuff like, and
That's
then
the
you just
network.
builds. But if you're creative and you're not going to stuff and you're not trying to do, because it starts with what you actually doing. What's the practical side of what you're doing?
Right.
Because the whole tribe thing and trying to find people that's got the same, that's not gonna happen if you're not. If
You're not
you're
moving
just
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you're just going to a computer.
No.
Social media.
I disagree.
What social
I
media?
disagree. If you're listen, no matter how much work, if you put in work,
Yeah.
the universe will bring it back to you. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. No,
But
when
you
I
don't
say
have
when
to
I'm
leave.
staying at
You could be
home.
in your building. You could be in your yard
Obviously,
making beat.
the social media side of stuff, that's still working though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing the social.
It's still that's you
I
getting
think
out
there's layers to
virtually.
this thing,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's still
There's-
So
we've been
social
able to
media-
get out virtually now via that. Yeah, 100%.
That's what I mean.
To be honest, the layers of it is, if you're a person that's working towards something, meaning even if you're making your beats in your yard and you're working, meaning that let's not confuse
There's not a
movement
single day that
with
goes.
progress.
Yeah.
We need to stop confusing
no.
movement with progress, bro.
Emotion, yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Energy, emotion, yeah.
Right.
It will equal what you want. The universe will bring it back to you. It's like a magnet. You see the manifestations, like all the positive affirmations, all of that shit. It's that. If you've got a goal and you're working, you could be working in Tesco, but you're doing bare hours. It's got nothing to do with where you actually want to go. But slyly, you've done bare work, yeah. You will get something that will put you back on the path of where you want to be.
That's the thing. It's like, don't get me wrong. Yeah, be about your money. Like, learn the business side to it.
Yeah, don't get mugged up.
But at the same time,
financially,
don't run before you can walk.
Yeah, because
Like,
that's what happens.
People go like, yeah, I want to get paid for that, and then I'll just hit back. I was like, what experience have you got? Sorry.
It's true. It's true. You can't come out and say,
Are
"Pay
you
me,
go?
bro."
Are you? If I give you X, Y, and Z, are you going to be able to deliver X, Y, and Z to a standard that I need and is required?
Standard.
I would rather.
Standard.
So-
I'd rather a younger deal like this not say nothing, and this is what's happened to man as well, yeah. And I rated this. This is why I'm saying they're more ambitious, yeah. Man never said nothing. Did the job, did it well, went above and beyond. Didn't say nothing about bread. Sent me an invoice. Bad boy.
Because you did,
Bad
but
boy.
you said something key.
Bad boy.
You said something key. You said something key.
Yeah.
You went above and beyond.
And sent by the invoice.
If
Bad
he
boy.
went below and beneath, bro, send you an invoice, you're not just gonna pay him. You'll be like, bro, this is terrible. What is this? So regardless,
Did you finish the job?
Basically.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So, bro, like,
Do you know how to finish
like
the job?
look, like anything, I can't come to Dust and say, yo, invest 10 bags into this, and him not ask no questions, bro. You have to be like, yo, the people that are doing this are experienced. Here's their track record of running successful projects. Here's what they want to do. Here's a plan. Here's my fail-safe procedure. If this doesn't work, here's plan B. This is why I think we have a chance of winning. Then you can consider him like, okay, the man are more qualified to do this. They've done this before. So even if I'm here or not,
It's gonna
because
work.
most investors want to amplify. Investors are not really fond of starting. That's why government incentives are better for startups.
Yes.
Because when you start up, if you're an investor, you need your money to work from day one. You can't wait a year to start working. They're not really interested in that. So I'm like, yo, if you're gonna go, like, I'll give you an example, yeah. Like, I remember when I was trying to get my first foot in the game, bro. You didn't have to pay me because I didn't have the experience. But I'm gonna leverage what you give me here to go parlay that into some real money. Because when I took the internship and I told people, yeah, I used to work for EMI, they're like, oh, okay, well, you got the experience, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
pay you. I'm leveraging something against something. So now I'm like, I'm in a place now where I understand what my value is. I got my track record. I got my CV. I can say I want to get paid. But when I was starting out, bro, money
The
wasn't even
value
the
isn't
issue.
overnight.
The value more than the money was that experience, blood, and to be able to be exposed. Because everything you're saying, Darcy, you exposed early, bro. At 19, 20, man, I'm exposed to a thinking that says, let me go sit in the library or let me go online and Google this information. Because back then you had to go to the library.
Fam,
Now,
I'll be
you
real
can
with
just
you.
Google. Man, I had to go to that library next day.
Yeah.
Just go there, sit there and go, yo, I need to learn it. And once I learned it, I knew the right questions to ask.
That's it. It basically is good listening skills and asking the right questions. But I was that brother, bro.
Bro, you
I
had
was
to.
18, 19. What? What do you mean I can't get paid? I know what it's worth, you know. Look, this is
That's what it's telling
step
me.
two. This is the rates. What do you mean man's not getting paid? Like you have to know. Like, but it's like what you said. If you've got a vision,
The vision.
I've done things
further,
for free.
man.
I've done things for free just because I believe in the project. I love the project. It's gonna mean something like to the culture. It will mean something to the people. So I'll do that. Do you get what I mean? It's like if you believe in something, you'll find a passion project. Everyone gets a passion project.
And the thing
100%,
about
And that's the one you will do for free.
Bro.
And then that will teach you everything you need to know.
Oh,
innit?
Passion projects taught me how to go get the money because I'm taking everything I got from this passion project and go like you got leverage, bro. If you're king of leverage, you always get some money. Like it's really leverage.
And
Like,
you don't know where that's going to lead. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Like I've seen like extras do some things for free for me, and then next thing I'm putting them in a feature film, or I'll call some people up and
that's
I'll
the
go
game I
like,
play.
oh yeah, do you need a DOP? Yeah, I
That's
know
the
that
game I
guy.
play.
Bang,
it.
you do that. That's led to him
Bruv.
getting paid on a feature film, on series, because that's the thing. Because he's done a passion project, a short film for me for free, but now he's got 3 or 4 jobs out of
But
it.
that allowed him to be a part of your tribe.
Exactly.
So-
Which built the network.
Yeah.
So it's that.
So it's about being part of your tribe. So if I come, okay, 2 people come, yeah. One of them's telling you, he's a young you, Darcy. He's saying, bruv, I know I'm gonna get people per hour. I know what time it is. I've done my research. I'm there. Another brother come to you. He's just as hungry as the other brother because people want opportunity. They come by the tens, like they're just there. They want opportunity. Darcy, yo, I'm trying to get on, bruv. If there's anything we've learned by being in the position we're in, is that if you're hiring someone or picking someone to give an opportunity, you want someone who is reliable because you do not want to waste it on the wrong person. Reliability is based on a consistency of trust and integrity.
Of course.
So meaning that when you come to mind, I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's the one. Because think about it. If you're late to set all the time and complaining and you're not in my mind, bro. And when you come into my mind, it's like a bad smell. You're like, ugh. You wipe it. But if you think of someone that you know is gonna hustle, Dust, like the guy you're gonna put on, you know when you come to mind, like he's there. I don't have to call back and say, oh, they're gonna complain about him to Darcy or to Sheridan. And like, bro, no, you know what tribe he's from. You know where he's from. You know what I mean?
But it's up to us. Right, so basically, a lot of these youngers, they're feral. They're feral. They're wild, yeah? You know, it's like them feral. I was talking about this on Twitter, them feral, yeah? So they don't know what's right and what's wrong, fam. So it's up to us to show them. So yeah, I'll call the hustler and say, yeah, I've got a job for you. But you, the feral youths, come here. I'm going to show you a couple of things. This is how it runs, yeah? This is what not to do. This is what to do, yeah? So when you get your next thing, you know how to flex. We can't just like cast them away because at the end of the day, they're going to be the dons running around screaming this for the culture and they're going to fuck things up. So it's up to us to keep them in line. You know, it's like if you have a
show
weak
them
link
the
in the
way.
chain, it broke, the whole thing broke. Yeah, we can't have no stray sheep. We've all got to stay in the
But
herd.
you can't save everyone at the same time.
No, you can't.
Because like the reason why I realized the top of it's a pyramid thing. Yeah, I look at like the more you move up, the less of you they are. Because not everybody's built for the position. Not everybody's built. People put in their mind that they built. They'll see you do a film, yeah, and in their mind is like, bro, he looks like me. Like I could, like he talks like, okay, I could do this. They're gapping out years of when the F3 was happening to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? They blocked out the years of like, bro, when you're there stressed about an edit or you're stressed about. They just blocked all of that. That's the thing about the youngest. They take the best ideal situation and say, I can do that. And sometimes it's more ego-driven than vision-driven. So now, when it comes to showing up on set, see, everyone's a hustler until they stand next to other real hustlers. Then we know really what's what. Because we'll tell who's really going to show up and get the job done to a standard. Because I realize people lack quality. Quality control is a problem in the UK. There's a lot of raw talent, but they do not care about quality. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm just like, well, if you find your tribesmen and all of you that don't care about quality, then all you man going to produce is raw material.
And not everyone, as you said, not everyone is gonna make it. Not
everyone's gonna make it, bro.
not everyone's even meant to. That's why there's some, not in like a bleak sort of way. Not everyone's meant to, but
Bro, it's real.
that's
It's not bleak. It's real.
yeah.
Not everyone's meant
there's
to.
just different levels, and there's different things that you're gonna put out there, and different styles, even on the creative side of stuff. Not everyone's gonna be doing comedy sketch or try to do the drum, but just in your, well, I don't like to use the word lane because it kind of sounds like you're just
Nah, bro. It just
limiting
ever said don't
yourself.
put anyone in their lane,
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Let them be free,
but
bro.
if you find something that, all right, this is something I know I'm good at. Of course, experiment and try other things and all that. But if you find something that this is what people really respond to and stuff like that, keep pushing that. And then the whole bringing other people in and all of that sort of stuff. But in terms of what you were saying about not everyone's going to make it to the top and all of that. Sometimes you can't even bother yourself too much about that because naturally, whoever's meant to will be there.
Bro, I just think to myself, I do not. If the brother that's wild, bro, time is precious. There's at least another 10 other men that need that opportunity. And if you're wild, I can't force you to be successful. If you don't want to be successful, I can give you the opportunity. 9 times out of 10 is habits. Habits are impulsive reactions to situations. So they're going in to mess it up and they want you to forgive and when there was 10 other brothers waiting in line, like, bro,
that's the thing. You can take the horse to the lake, but you can't make it drink it.
You can't make them.
So,
Not everybody's on this thing, like you say. Some
Yeah,
man
man.
are them man. And a lot of them man, you gotta swerve them too because all they're here for is to destruct the team.
To be honest,
they wanna show up on set and be loud and, yeah, well, Darcy's my bro though. Like, I know Darcy.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, calm down, bro. This is
That's
not what we're
any
doing.
industry in general, even like normal workplace, whether it's sales for computers
Bro,
or
when I look at
whatever,
young people, I'm looking for young people that's part of my tribe.
Of course.
I know what my tribe is. You know what I'm saying? So when you're young, and that's why some people say my mentor, like, I see myself.
Do you know what's
I'm from
crazy?
his
It's
tribe.
not even just young
You know what I'm
people, you
saying?
know. I know, like, that's part.
Bro, if
We're
you're
talking
old,
about
you're
the
stuck in your
future.
ways, bro. Like, that's it. If you're 30 something, you don't get it, bro. Good luck with that. Because man ain't trying to chat to some 35 about what's going on. I listen to the
No,
youngest.
but no. We're saying who doesn't get it.
Oh, yeah.
But there's some older people that still don't get it. Some older people that they feel like because of their age, they automatically should be at this. Some people that are older, they might think because of their age, they can't really be doing stuff for free and all of that sort of stuff. They feel like, that should be
Because you
someone
messed
young.
up by your age, that's why you're doing it for free.
Well, there you.
That's
Not
why you're
necessarily.
doing it for free,
No,
bro.
but that's making it sound like if you're doing something for free, it's a bad thing. So you probably shouldn't put.
If you're 30 something with kids, yeah, it kind of is.
I think
From my perspective, anyway.
every creative generation gets stuck in a time warp.
True. I'm still stuck
Yeah,
in the
there's
90s,
also
bro.
that.
And I feel like, especially after what you just said about perfectionists as well, the generation that's underneath us, the reason why they've gone so far is because they just get it done. It don't matter if it's perfect or
They
not.
got that freeness.
I did a training thing at Google and they do this thing where they give you best spaghetti and it's who can make the strongest, longest tower, yeah? But the kids are the ones that did it quickest, like the 3 to 6 year olds, and they give it to like 3 to 6 year olds, teenagers, people in their 20s and 30s and 40s. The Pickney did it first because they just did it quick, getting it done. Everyone else is trying to draw a structure plan and perfect it. And
Overcomplicate.
yeah, and your thing's bruck anyway. So you spend all this time doing all this stuff and it's like, do you get what I'm saying?
Just go out there, do the project, and put it out there.
Bruv, basically,
Yeah.
we're in a time of revolution. No one knows what's right or wrong. Yeah, record labels are dying, TV companies are dying. Like, basically, BBC. I heard this reference the other day. The BBC is basically the media Woolworths. Oh, look what happened to Woolworth. Yeah, and that's what we're at right now. We're in a revolution. Yeah, like everyone's got their own thing. Like you said, it might not be your form of success, but he's running his room. And our work rate is tenfold because we've got 50 youngers banging out things, and all we've got to do is varnish and polish.
That's calm.
Come on, bruv. And then we
Yeah.
build our own houses. That's how you build the house, fam.
Bro, that's cold right there. So before we wrap up, man, because I've learned a lot myself, bro. Culture, I'm happy we dispelled that because, bruv, I'm hearing the culture. And that tree analogy, bruv, is mad. Like, it's clear and concise. Like, it's like, yeah, it's that. We all don't have to be from part of the same branch, but we are from the same tree. And all we recognize that is by understanding our community, because that's where the tribe comes out. And community doesn't necessarily mean where you live, per se. Community is about the people you've built, because that's what social media is, a community. You build a
100%.
that you're attached to. So before we go, I want everyone to kind of, what would be give me your one word and just shortly why that one word to kind of advise young filmmakers, actors, content creators about what for their 2019, bro. Like, what should they be doing? Give me one word that kind of sums up.
Undeniable.
Undeniable. Why?
Because if you're undeniable, no one can question you.
I like that. What do you say, JP?
Consistency. You with consistency, the more you're doing something, if inside you'll know that, all right, I'm doing the right thing, and then you'll naturally get better at it. So
Just keep doing
consistency,
it because it will just
yeah.
pattern itself out.
Consistency sort of spills into other words like perseverance and all of that sort. So yeah, I would just say consistency. Don't fall off.
Nice.
That's it.
Darcy, what are you saying? What's that one word?
Serendipity.
Google that, somebody.
So
Okay,
to be serendipitous,
Yeah.
like to live a serendipitous lifestyle. Happy accidents.
Happy accident.
Do you know like Viagra was made by accident? They were trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's,
Then they forgot.
and they made bare
Viagra.
old people horny, and then that's how
That
we made
was
Viagra.
hilarious. I
Happy
read about
accidents.
that.
So
So what- what's the word?
the Olympics was made because a man wanted to
Serendipity.
teach PE in schools, so they had to create something to make that happen. Happy accidents.
Happy
fam.
accidents.
Yeah.
Serendipity.
If you're undeniable and you're consistent, you just let the serendipity happen. But that's love. That's love. Sheridan, again,
Hey.
Blessings,
always
man.
love.
Big
Big
up
up
always.
independence. Yeah. So I can hear my executive over there, like, you know what I'm saying. So shout out to Bel Air for all the nice. Do you man enjoy the? You,
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
do
rust
that.
this off now. I've been
Yeah.
waiting a lot. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
nice,
get
man.
waved and talk like that. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Shout out to
Thank
40
you.
Acres in the Greenhouse. Shout out to Goldie Events, Joe AT, Bel Air, and Starsky and Clouds. Thank you, man. Like, this has been dope and another great episode. And where can people find you? Give them socials out, guys. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to Play Deep School too. You know what I'm saying?
At Sheridan Demeyers.
Instagram at anti-orthodox JP.
At Mr. Darcy, at I'm Mr. Darcy, or at Hood Society UK as well to see like art and all the other projects we
Hood
got going on.
Society.
Hood Society UK, helping
JP
others
was a-
overcome discrimination.
Yeah.
Hood.
And that JP is JAYPE.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
J.
cool. Before you start putting this JMP, they won't find him. So thank you guys, man. Appreciate that. One love.
Thank you.
you know, you can't-